jar. Everyone listens to Jam Jar. Well, almost everyone. Jam Jar, Jam Jar. Everyone listens to Jam Jar. We're gonna jump and shout and talk it out. Everyone is jumping about to Jam Jar, Jam Jar. We're all listening to Jam Jar. Whoo! Jam Jar, Jam Jar. Everyone listen to Jam Jar. Jam Jar, Jam Jar. Everyone listens to Jam Jar. Jam Jar. Spread it around. Hey, well, a great hello to everyone out there today for another program of Jam Jar. Yeah. Welcome aboard. And I can take my glasses off now. That's just good. And I do have my headphones on today. Did you notice, listeners and viewers? Great to be back. And of course, we're in the Christmas mode at the moment, which is all very good. Special guest artist or guest person today, which I won't introduce quite yet, but we'll have a bit of a talk around and find out what's been happening in the last month. It's been a month, I guess. Yeah, it's been a month. Wow. I hope everyone out there is tuned in. It was good to get the comments back. Different people on the street walking up and saying, I saw you on telly. I said, thank you very much. It's all good. So as you can imagine, this time of year there's a lot of things happening, not only musically, but the art gallery at Aratoi's got lots of things happening. King Street, they've got heaps happening. If you want to have a look at thinking about getting some really good art for someone for Christmas, go and have a look in King Street. Just beautiful stuff in King Street. But anyway, what's happening musically? Musically, we've still got the Gladstone pub out there, Gladdy, working and going well. We've got a gig not this Thursday, so it'll be the following Thursday. And of course, you're welcome to that. That's always good to get musicians and people along for that, because I know everyone has a great time. And it's a Christmas one, so we're going to do a little bit of a Christmassy sort of thing. Might even do Snoopy's Christmas, if you're lucky. Okay, so what else is happening? We've got the thing on at the Iberia on the 22nd. That's another Christmas little gig. I'm not sure who's going to be turning up for that, but that'll be pretty Christmassy. So obviously a lot of firms have Christmas parties. And so I can say, go for it, great. Just watch yourselves with the old keeping it fairly sort of not going overboard. And there's nothing worse than getting your Christmas ruined because you're a bit silly. I know it's a silly time of year, but, guys and girls, but mainly guys. So I think we're running for a good season. I'm just thinking what else is happening, actually, because some of the places have closed and we're still working on another venue for the Musicians Club. So we're not sure exactly where we're going to be on that one yet. So we're looking around. There's possibilities. We do want something next year to have a permanent place for the Wairarapa musicians. And not only the musicians, the poets as well. And anyone who has the ability to tell a story, storytellers. We love storytellers. Someone where people can actually bathe, if you like, in a creative space, and so that everyone that's there can share what they have. Because I'm a firm believer in that the creative energy that's within any area is equal to what's really happening. Is it alive? Is it vibrant? Are people being nice to each other? All that sort of thing. And I'm a firm believer in that when people are being creative and expressing themselves in a positive way, that it adds a lot to a community, definitely. Okay, so I might start off with a little song, maybe a Christmas song, just to get us in the nice frame of mind, I guess. What could we do? Let's see. Let me see, I've got the guitar here. I'll do a little bit of a Christmassy thing here. Christmassy thing like, you better watch out You better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Good old Santa, eh? He's making a list, checking it twice. He's going to find out who's naughty or nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. Now here it goes. He knows when you've been sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So be good, for goodness sake. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Shall we have some Santa Claus noises? He's singing through his beard. Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming to town. He might have Mrs. Claus with him. He knows when you've been sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So be good, for goodness sake. Well, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Merry Christmas, ho, ho, ho. There you go. We may do another Christmas song later on, but maybe not. But I'm going to introduce my guest person for the day. And so we're going to introduce Leah, she's a poet. We've had her on the program before, but not televised.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
You too. You too.
Yeah, so it's been, well, we're going to get you back on anyway. And so lots happening, and since we saw you last, of course.
Yeah, a year worth of lots.
Yeah, so...
A year worth of lots, yeah.
Yeah, and you're working full-time at Trade Aid?
Yeah.
In fact, I think you're the manager, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's a big step because, you know, that's... Well, I remember last time you were sort of wondering...
I was still back then always managing it.
You were managing then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's true. Yeah, because I remember going and seeing you there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're obviously being... you're a poet. So what made you sort of move in that? Have you always written poetry and written stuff down?
Still, yeah. Oh, yeah, still the same, yes, yeah.
Ever since you were little, even?
Yeah.
Okay, so how little would you have been when you started writing stuff down?
Oh. Well, you have to do it at school. They make you write at school, so, you know, I guess it starts quite early. Because if you're learning how to write at school and express yourself, I think that you go home and write things as well.
Right.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be able to be poetry till really teenage years, I'd say.
Yeah, so did you find that ideas and concepts that you had about what was happening in your life ended up on paper?
Yeah.
Okay, so
for
it
sure.
is...
Yeah.
For sure, eh?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
like even... Maybe not even with your own experience and interaction, but what's going on around you and other things. So you'd see it and then maybe you think, well, how can I express this in poetry form, yeah?
Yeah. I think I always said it wasn't really a deliberate intention.
Okay.
It was always just something to do, always just easy to write.
Yeah. But did you ever feel like compelled or sort of suddenly got inspiration about writing stuff down?
Yeah, in the moment.
Yeah, in the moment.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I sort of feel that's how... Well, no, that's what we said last time. Probably people have different ways. So some people intentionally want to write and they can logically and pragmatically think things through, and the words can be formed
Yes.
in the sentences. But mine's just, just pick up a pen and something comes out.
Right.
Yeah.
So how would you? What about the idea about poets tend to be the barometer, they say, of what's happening around in society around them? Do you think that's a sort of a true statement in a sense?
It would depend on
What type?
depend on you and what you write about, because well, that would make a lot of sense. Yes, definitely, because people express what's going on for them, and what's going on for them is affected by what's going on in the society around them.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that would definitely make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think, like there was one poem that I read last time, and it was all interpersonal relationships, but it was the relationships being affected by judgment on
Yeah.
non-organic farming.
Yep.
So yes,
Okay, so it's
poetry
quite-
comes from what's going on around you.
Can be quite generic in a way, in a sense. Eh?
Yeah, for sure. And
Which-
no one would know unless you deliberately, specifically want to write about, something really definite. Poetry is not able to be understood by everybody because you can't go into someone else. You can go into someone else. There's namaste, but you can't feel what someone else can truly deeply feel, because we're all so contained and we all
within
also
our
are.
own sort of thing.
Yeah.
We get an inkling, eh? And I think that's what
Yeah.
poets do. They give an inkling sometimes of what it is like, maybe their perspective. But I think that's important, because
Yes.
obviously that everything we try and understand around us is gauged through that interaction. It's like having 10 minds throwing their own perspective in, or a lot of people,
Yeah.
and rather than one person saying, "Oh, it's this," when in actual fact it could be that, but a number of other things as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Eh?
Yeah, it can't, how can it be this? Because there is a valuable right to being able to be, everything is valid.
Yeah.
Terrible
Absolutely.
things. No, I don't even like saying that. So,
No, but true. Yeah.
not everything is valid. Some things shouldn't happen,
But they do.
but they do and have,
Yeah.
and have been caused. And but everyone. Science as well. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Things always, there can be things that change with
Absolutely.
new understanding and new information and new learning and new discovering and.
Yeah. No, I think it's I think it's good to have that interaction. Same with musicians, I guess. Music is another thing that can have quite a profound effect on what's happening around them, the way they view things, and just using, some songs for me have such a strong message that they've never left me. They've been with me for the last 30 or 40 years even. That's one lyric or just a melody that's so strong.
Yes.
Bobby Dylan, he's such an amazing, not only a songwriter, but as a lyricist and a lyric writer. He got the award for like writer. What is it called? Like there must be some writers award or something. I think everyone was sort of moaning, "Oh, he's just a songwriter," but no, he's more than a songwriter, because what he saw and the way he wrote it was so powerful that everyone was sort of affected by his poetry.
Yeah, because in those days, for me, people like that would be Art Garfunkel and Paul Simon writing together, or Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel writing together.
Yeah.
The lyrics totally different, because the stories are coming out through musicians like that, for sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm going to do now is just take my headphones off. That's a much better.
Feel better?
I can hear.
Oh, good.
A bit better. Well, I can still hear through here, but what I'm going to do is get you to read a couple of poems for us.
Okay.
And then which is great. Your choice, but you don't need to explain or anything, because sometimes people go, "Oh, it's about this." For me, anyway, I would rather hear it and in its entirety, and just let the listeners do their own whatever. If you want to talk about when you wrote it or afterwards, that's cool. But So if you just tell us the name of the poem and read it for us, that would be nice.
Okay.
And what have you got for us?
Well, this one's got a title. So this one is called Question of Inspiration, thanks to Eddie Vedder.
Oh, okay.
Because we love Eddie Vedder.
Yep.
I found an infinitesimal amount of excessiveness as large as the sky. Deliberation, should I take more and why? A range of filling four walls to colour, warm and eradicate loneliness, piling up more and more, fitting pieces through doors, needing somewhere I display teacups means dollars away from a degree, on my own without someone to share. Is this why I fill my walls, so my heart is not bare? One day to venture to a cave, quiet stillness where contemplation without distraction can be made. And then I turn my head and see pink, blue radiance and green. The dusk rising, the pink and mauve as it settles down into the night. Those colours fill my awed heart with delight. And then I know why I fill my home.
Beautiful. Yeah. Okay, it's pretty well. I mean, you don't need to explain. It's there, you know. Just listening to the lyrics. I love the wall, filling your walls up with. That's
Wow,
a
that's
great
it.
line. I can identify with that one, definitely. Yeah. I think. Well, should we play one of the tracks? We've got "Beautiful Girl." Is it by the In Excess?
Yeah.
That's a good track.
It's such a beautiful song, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think we'll
definitely.
play that one now because we've got 4 tracks to play, and we'll just have a look at the time here. See, we can go a little bit over time because we started a little bit late today, listeners and viewers. So here's a track coming up, and it's by In Excess, and it is called "Beautiful Girl." So here we go, and we're on. Let me see, get this right. We're on CD1.
Yeah.
There we go, and that comes out.
Nicky's in the corner with the black coat on, running from a bad home with some cat inside. Where did you find her? Among the neon lights that haunt the streets outside. She says, stay with me, beautiful girl. Stay with me, beautiful girl. Stay with me. You wanna go home, from doorway to doorway, street corner to corner, the neon ghosts in the city. And she says, stay with me, stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. She's so scared, so very frightened. Anything could happen right here tonight. Beautiful girl, stay with me. Beautiful girl.
Well, there you have it. It's a nice track, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so pretty.
It's great.
Yeah.
So we've got a few tracks to play today. While I'm just talking to you, I'm going to open that up like that and take that out and put this new CD in all ready to go, because then I can be select one or two. So I think there's only two tracks, so the first track should be the right one, which is Once I Was. Is that right? We won't play that yet.
I think that's Christine.
Okay, listeners and people out there, great to have your company today. We've got Leah in the studio with us today. She's a poetess, you could say, or a poet. Yeah. She's been writing for quite a few years, and I had the pleasure of having her on the program when it was a radio program, still Jam Jar, but now we see what she looks like as well. And lovely to have you on the program with us, and to share some of the stuff that you've been writing, and so we'd like to hear a few more poems. I'm sure the listeners and the viewers would love to hear a few more. So
Okay. Oh, that's okay. Yep.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, this is cool. So, it's nice to be valuable, lovable, spherical, gleaming like crystallite caught on the reflection of glass. I'm so content in being beautiful, that comes in lightfulness, joyousness, and being gullible. Best lessons in beauty are learned through harsh truth, how to be valiant, how to be sustainable. I'm still lost, lots and on occasions, and finding purity, finding how I feel behind a peony, because sometimes you just want to wait for a chance face to face, but also knowing that if you say it, you'll fall from grace. Someone wore dirty boots in the other day and then did it again on that person. I loved it.
Great line. Good imagery, yeah, love it.
Thanks.
That's a fairly recent one.
I wrote it last night.
Wow,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Hear that, listeners? That's hot off the press.
Hot off the press.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's have another one while we're going well.
Okay. I wrote this one last night too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so incredibly no words. Crazy while partaking in the earth. If you put something out, it can't ever be taken back. Only excused or pardoned or left out upon the rack. To go out into the sphere, drip bloodlines on your face, words out of your mouth, cannot go back into that place. Brave and stupidly wild to be your heart on your soul, put forth out into a nation, out on a roll. That won't stop a tide once someone's seen they've seen. That's why when a friend judges you to be mean, lacking in humility, shame on your face, you cannot be accepted back in that place. 'Cause truth always outwills what we want to pretend never happened, to hide all our ills, default statistics. But so good to put forward the now understanding you, eyes like water violets, so clear and new, out into a nation, past a heart spurn sore, so finely pretty, 'cause I learnt more.
Wow. You had a busy night.
Yeah, that took
Did
me
it-
like 3 minutes.
Yeah, they just flow.
Yeah,
That's a real inspiration.
they just
You know,
write
'cause
out.
some people say, 2% inspiration and 98% perspiration, but
Oh,
some
no, just
it's-
like,
it's like that sometimes, I guess, but
Oh, yeah.
sometimes when it's happening, I find it with music, it's the same thing. If it's flowing, it's a real, you just feel as though you don't even, almost not even thinking about what's coming, you know what's coming next. And when I'm writing my own stuff,
Yeah.
so I know the feeling there, but, I think, beautiful poetry. I mean, I'm sure the listeners are getting a real buzz out of hearing someone who expresses themselves as eloquently as you do.
nice.
Now, can I just talk a bit about, at the moment, your poetry is, I feel, this is what I feel, I'm just hearing it and stuff, that's personal, but it's also you're still holding on to it a little bit rather than putting it out there in a big way.
Yeah, like last night when I knew finally that this would happen today, I read. Oh, I've got like all my books down there, and from time ago after the last time we were on Jam Jar,
Yeah.
I just read these poems and I was like, I can't say them out loud to other people. They're just way too brutal and
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
And like even this one is something. I can read it, but I know that I can't read the bottom part.
Okay. Well, you read as much as you need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no, I can't. It's too scary to. Yeah, that's it. You can't take anything back once it's out, and
Absolutely.
I could do it on a book.
And when you're ready to when it's ready to be, the time will present itself when it needs to be heard.
Oh yeah.
I'm a real believer in that as well.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. So, does it have a title, this one?
No, most of them don't.
They don't. Okay.
Oh God, it's like this insipid yearning that's fuller than anything. Dispartial, nonsensical, non-real thought. It's like being stuck to a lifetime of you with no way of disengaging. I can't seem to extract my soul away from your spirit, mind and heart. An eternal tunnel of darkness where I'm stuck, attached through your bones. Only because it's so connected, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's okay now because I totally let that go. It's all sorted.
So it's all sorted. That's
all
good.
sorted. I'm
But
disconnected from the bones.
But it's down there. It's down. You put it out. It's down so far.
Yep. Been and gone, done.
Yeah.
Been and gone and done and fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to play a song.
Okay.
It's a Tim Buckley one. Once I Was. Is that right?
Yes.
This is you love this song?
Probably the best sensitive love song ever written, and that's saying something because there are
Okay.
thousands.
Okay, and I'm going to leave. I might leave the microphones on, so we're still we're still alive in the studio.
We're alive.
So we'll go to the CD here like that, and then with a bit of luck, if I push that, it should happen. It should have sound. I have not got no sound.
I think that that's on number 2.
Ah,
The second song on the disc.
okay, we'll just go for number 2.
Let's find out.
That's number 2 there. Still not happening. Whoa. Panic.
Default action, everybody.
Excuse me, listeners and viewers. We are one. There's one. So let me just try that now. I've got the CD one on, yes, and we've got the volume there. So maybe I do need to take.
I've been searching for a pot of gold.
Well, that was great. Yeah, man.
Dreamy.
Bit of Fleetwood Mac going on there.
So dreamy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's really good. So I'm just really aware that we are a little bit pushed for time, but we did start a little bit late. So listeners, I hope that you're all preparing, making all the preparations for the Christmas thing, getting it all. I'm not a huge Christmas fan. I like the idea of family, and I like the unity and the that sort of thing. And I do like that. There's a magic element that I do like, for want of a better word. It's not the right word, but there is a special thing that happens at Christmas time. It's a sort of an energy that seems to go out and pervade the community, and people actually start being nice to each other. Maybe just because it's Christmas, but at least they're actually being nice to each other, because sometimes, people are not too good with how they interact with families and stuff. And for some families, Christmas is always quite a hard do. They struggle with it. But I think overall, if you just think, when you meet people and you just look them and just say, hey, good to see you, I hope you're going to have a really good time with the family in Christmas, and people appreciate it. They really love it, because they know that you want to make that connection. And as human beings, I think we need to do that more anyway. Be more open and make that connection. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Not just one time in the year, but
Yeah, of course.
I'm thinking it needs to be a constant thing. But at least if it's not happening at all, at least Christmas provides that platform or vehicle for people to think of other people and maybe do kind things to each other, which is good.
For sure.
Hey. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
I've got another track lined up in a minute. I'll just put it on to 2. I'm not going to play that yet. And so the other track will be Once I Was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we won't do that yet. But okay, so obviously you're writing fairly regularly, prolific, I think the word is.
Oh, yeah.
So you obviously every day you'd be writing stuff down.
No,
No.
but like a year. Oh, in a year I've sort of, I don't know. There must be 30 pages.
Wow. Yeah.
That's quite a bit.
It is quite a bit. It's a lot more. You had nowhere near that many, I think, when we first interviewed you.
After that first jam jar just streamed out.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff streamed out.
Yeah. So there is a platform for at this music group that we have for storytellers and poets, which I can see you doing that, and people would love. Well, I'm sure they would really love what you're writing. Even to get up and do 1 or 2 poems, were not only good for them but good for you as well.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost like, for me sometimes, I mean, my students, an example is some of my guitar students, they work on pieces for ages, and then they think, well, what do we do? Sit on the bed and play it and everything, and they feel good about it. But then they say, oh, I want to show people or share with people what I'm doing, so that I get that interaction between the listener and me, the artist.
Yeah.
And the joy that they get when they get up and do a song that they've been working on, and the response from the audience, is nothing short of incredible. It's miraculous, because you can see the synergy that's taken place, and the love that takes place. It's a good thing, Provide if in the right environment, it can be really positive thing. Yeah. So I'd like to hear at least a couple more poems before we play this next track, if that's all right.
Okay.
I'm aware of the time, but that's all right. And what have we got?
This is just a little thing. So, I am the courage that allowed myself to face every gruesome thing I have been. I am so enabled in this life. I am the cosmic warrioress, leaf rider of magic and connection. I am me, I am all. I am here for everything that is meant to meet with me. And then today I crash back down through a lightning sky. My heart is sore and I am alone. My cat that I could never own is so very fortunately here with me.
Yeah. Beautiful. Is that a recent one?
Oh, Oh, a little while ago, maybe
Yeah.
a month or something ago,
Okay.
maybe more.
Do you
A little
date?
more.
Do you date your poems ever? I used to date my songs. I don't do it so much
Oh.
now, but it's funny because when you're thinking, when you hear a song and you're playing, and you're trying to remember when you actually wrote it, and it quite takes you back to a place and time when things were going on all around you, and then you suddenly think, oh, I know why I came up with that particular concept or whatever it is, you know.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah. Some
Oh.
things are dated, but that's more like sort of if I've actually just written out a journal-y kind of thing.
yeah. Well, I'm going to play another track. I'm going to play this other track, which is Tim Buckley track. Once I was, I'm hoping I've got it. So we're going to see if we can do this on CD1 and play it and see what happens.
Once I was a soldier, and I fought on foreign sands for you. Once I was a hunter, and I brought home fresh meat for you. Once I was a lover, I searched behind your eyes for you. And soon there'll be another to tell you I was just alive. And sometimes I wonder, just for a while, searching through the ashes of our roots for the days when we smiled and the hours that ran wild with the magic of our eyes and the silence of our sometimes I wonder, just for a while, will you ever remember me? Remember me.
Wow, what a beautiful track. Hey, it's amazing. I'm pretty sure I was just saying, we were talking before, but I'm thinking that this is the same guy that wrote the song of Wairarapa Carpenter. I'm not sure about the listeners out there. Someone will know.
Yeah.
If you see me in the street and just go, yeah, I'll know.
Yep, tell me too.
So, yeah.
Tell me too.
But what a wonderful track.
Yeah. Oh, this is
Just excellent, eh? So we're sort of, we've got about 10 minutes. So I was just thinking I wanted to just talk a little bit about if you at this point in time, whether you have any aspirations of publishing, because some of the listeners will ask. Obviously, they're going to ask, "Have you published and are you thinking of publishing?"
No and no. Still
No
no
and
and
no.
no. Still no. Still
You
no.
still don't know, yeah.
No.
Not at this point in time.
No.
But possibilities maybe in the future? Maybe.
Probably still no.
Yeah, okay. That's all right. That's it, because they will ask.
Yeah, but I like what we just talked about, that going out to Gladdy or somewhere like that.
Yeah, and you can do it live. It can be a live thing, and people will say, okay.
And then that's where you can read the real poems with
Absolutely,
the word
I agree.
in it.
Because then
So,
it has that interaction-y thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another friend of mine, Rebecca Burgess, who's a poet. I've interviewed her, but not live as such. I was on the radio station, that's right. And she's just published she didn't publish for ages. She's just done her first book.
Wow.
And it took people, once they cottoned onto it, man, it was just everyone wanted the book. So it started now, they think they might be onto their second printing already. Yeah. So, but I'm not saying that's a reason for doing it.
That's
but she
right,
felt
yeah.
at the time that, okay, I'm ready to face the world in the sense of having it in hard copy so people can have a copy of. So this is, this is Rebecca Burgess's poems. So I think that's the way she looked at it.
Wow. I think
Yeah. But
I think I envision like the old times, and you could definitely. I think I would vision putting out a book, but not my name,
yeah, well,
Just poems.
exactly.
just the poems.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You could go, what do they call it when someone doesn't use the real name? Or doesn't use a name? Is it?
Yeah,
there's
well,
a
there's
name
anonymous.
for it. Anonymous, I used to call him.
Anonymous.
I'd say, Nonny Mouse. There's no mouse, he's a non-mouse. My kids used to laugh at that. A nonny mouse. Anyway, I'm digressing here. Yeah, so obviously the listeners are I'm sure they're going to be really love your poetry, what you're doing, and so we'll see if we can get maybe at least one more poem in before we start, because I'm just wondering whether we should play another track. I've got the Jeff Buckley track here.
Yeah.
I could play that, you see, and that would be good.
That's interesting because it's after once I was, so
Yeah, so we'll see how we
Happy.
go, because you might go out on that one, you see, which should be great. But let's have another poem before so then the listeners can truly say that they've really been, it's a feast of
oh my God, a feast.
Leah's poetry today, which is great.
Okay, this one's all right. That's nice. It's always funny. You think about how your voice is the same, like the same kind of thing when you're reading the poems, but
Yeah.
I don't know how to change it. So, okay. I took myself into trying, came out without dying. So easy this time. Happy to be conscious, straight and true. I'm just going to keep saying I'm not for you, because you're not for me, with a gentle, stern heart in its decision from mindfulness. And I'm glad I know this early on in the chance. Happy not to be pushed into something you want, because I am a mountain, my choice, change direction, deliberation, thought, cold decisiveness on my own. I'm not a fulfillment for boredom, I am a stone, smooth by time into my form, pure nature, life reborn.
When was that written?
Oh,
Quite a while
like
ago.
yeah, beginning of the year?
Yeah. I think I did hear that one before. Did
No, you
I?
didn't.
No? Maybe not? Okay.
That came after.
After, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna play this track for us right now. It's a Jeff Buckley track. Which one is it? Is it Last Goodbye?
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to play that, so we can get some music in as well, and then we'll just about be ready to wrap up our program. So we're on CD2. Boy, I'm getting the hang of this, listeners, I tell you.
Really well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope that you've tuned in, and it's always good to have your company. And I do enjoy you stopping me in the street and saying they've been watching the program, and so that's good. And yeah, it's good to have that feedback, and you guys are the reason I do it, because yeah, it's just me of sharing and having contact with the people out there that watch this ROFM. We could have a big hello out there to Dan Broughton. He's our sponsor. Dan's the man in Carterton. He's got Wairarapa web designer though. I feel that he's changed his name to something else. He's in, just along the road from where he was in the main street, Carterton. And yeah, he does web designs. But he's our sponsor, and without him we wouldn't be able to do the program. So
Thanks, Dan.
yeah, so Dan, great stuff. And of course a big hello and a thank you to Michael and Veronica, because they're always there for us big time. Without them we wouldn't have this, and what an amazing space.
This space is
It's just
really
so
cool.
good, and it feels, not only feels good, but feels as if we're actually professional, like, you know, it's just great. So we're so blessed.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I say something? Wait.
Yes, you
the
can.
The reason that you couldn't have heard this, but
Yes.
it wasn't a year ago and you might have thought you had,
Okay, yeah.
was because it was more like February. So that's not a year, folks.
Okay.
That's my bad. Sorry.
That's good. No, thank you. So here we go. We're going to play this track. So we're going to push that. I'm going to do that.
This is our last goodbye. I hate to feel the love between us die, but it's over. Just hear this and then I'll go. You gave me more to live for, more than you'll ever know. Well, this is our last embrace. Must I dream and always see your face? Why can't we overcome this war? Baby, maybe it's just
Wow. That's our last track for today. We've come to the end of our show. Listeners, viewers, great to have you on board today. And a special thank you to you, Leah, for coming in
Welcome.
and sharing your poems with us. Of course, we wish you all the success in writing. Keep writing, because I'm sure that, you know, if we can get you along live to play, to actually voice them somewhere, that would even be better. And so, listeners, I'm wishing you all a very, very, very Merry Christmas. And, of course, the Happy New Year bit as well. I'm sure next year is going to be good. I've got a good feeling about next year, even though at the moment things don't look so good in certain parts of the world. But I think, for me, I try and remain on the positive side and look for the positive things that are happening and build on those. And, but anyway, look after each other, be kind to each other, and we'll see you. This is our last one for the year. Yeah. So thank you again.
Thank you.
And lovely to have you with us, and we'll catch up with you next time round.
Round like a rissole.
Yeah. Hey, listeners, thank you very much. I'm gone.